Hello and welcome everyone. Thank you for joining me today. I am thrilled to have you with me for this exciting webinar. We will be diving into the cash flow management strategies. Whether you're here to learn, engage, or explore new ideas, I am glad you are with me today. Let's get started on what promises to be an enlightening journey. My name is Ivanessa Hogan. I am a financial and business strategist and advisor with over 12 years of experience working with small businesses. I have worked with a large number of small businesses by now, and I help them understand their financials and achieve financial freedom. The purpose of this presentation is to help you gain a deeper understanding of cash flow management and provide you with actionable insights that can enhance your business financial health. The objectives of this webinar are the importance of cash flow management. We'll go over a case study. What are the most common failures to monitor the cash? Strategies for improving cash flow, best practices in managing cash, and what actions you should take in the process. The importance of cash flow management. Imagine this. You're running a successful service-based business, or it could be a product-based also, but this is especially targeted to service-based businesses. But you're just one unexpected expense away from disaster. A new bill comes up, the insurance bill went up, a membership or subscription you had, a large payment of a subscription just came in. Imagine being close to pay payroll and feeling stressed, having to borrow from a friend, family member, or personal bank account to be able to cover it. Ever wondered why some businesses thrive while others struggle to make ends meet? The secret often lies in how they manage their cash flow. It's a situation that many entrepreneurs face, so no shame. We learn from our mistakes. I have my share of mistakes also. Today, we're here to help you avoid them. Stick around and you'll discover the keys to financial success. Welcome to this webinar. That's all about empowering your business. I am about to show you how to transform financial uncertainty into financial prosperity. So hang in tight. Meet Xavier. Xavier's business profit and loss showed a profit, right? But there was never money in the bank account. Xavier, as you can see in this slide, he owns a business, a real business, not the real name. He has 3 full-time employees and 2 full-time and 2 part-timers. He has to borrow money from his best friend from time to time to cover the payroll of his 5 employees. The NSF fees, which is not sufficient funds, standing for not sufficient funds fees, which are the fees that the bank charges when your bank account gets overdrawn. These NSF fees mounted up to between $500 to $900 per month. And he hasn't paid himself in quite some time. So he was draining his personal savings account, was delayed in paying his own bills, and was up to the neck in debt. What are the most common failures that small businesses fall into when monitoring the cash? First, overdraft and increased debt. Difficulty in making intelligent decisions. Inaccurate financial forecasting, and so forth, as you can see in this slide. Failure to monitor cash can present several significant challenges for a business. leading to potentially severe financial consequences. If a business doesn't track its cash flow, it may find itself short of cash when it's time to pay the bills, it's time to pay the payroll or other essential expenses. And the consequences can lead to late fees, strained relationships with vendors, and damage to the business credit rating. The overdrafts and increased debt, without having a clear understanding of cash flow and the management of it, a business might unintentionally overdraft its accounts because nobody does it intentionally. And it happens. It happens. Life happens, throws to us a curveball, and we don't know what to do in that situation, and the bank account gets overdrawn. So it happens, and the consequences are in high interest rates on loans or credit cards, and a growing debt burden that can quickly escalate financial problems. The difficulty making informed decisions, such as to expand, hire more staff, or invest in new opportunities, come along with the failure to monitor the cash. And without monitoring it, the decision makers may lack the necessary insights, leading to poor financial planning and missed opportunities for growth. So, inaccurate financial forecasting, not having an up-to-date data, if a business fails to monitor it, its forecasts may be unreliable. Because if the information is not up to date, let's say the accounting is not up to date, which is a very common problem in small businesses because of how casual small business owners are about the financial data, the accuracy and the completeness of it. Not intentionally, it's just because they haven't been taught. You haven't been educated enough by your accountant to help you with this situation. So this can lead with unexpected cash shortages, making it difficult to manage future seasonal fluctuations. And the increase of risk of insolvency, it causes negative cash flow, where outflows consistently exceed inflows and can push a business towards insolvency and ultimately bankruptcy. If these issues are not addressed promptly, this can lead, like I said, to bankruptcy or restructuring of the business. Positive cash flow in the missed opportunities for growth. The positive cash flow enables a business to reinvest, right? You reinvest in the business, such as through marketing, new product or development, or new services, a new staff, or expansion. And the consequences of this, not doing this, can lead to missed opportunities, again, on capitalizing on the surplus of the cash, leading to stagnation. And then the business stays small the whole time. And that's not why we're going to business. We want to grow, we want to advance, we want to be sustainable for a long time. We want to be enriched by the business. The damage to business reputation is another failure, because consistently failing to pay vendors, employees, or creditors on time can damage a business reputation. And the consequences of it can lead to lost businesses, difficulty in negotiating favorable terms with suppliers, and the tarnished brand image. The reduced flexibility in financial emergencies, that can leave a business unprepared for unexpected expenses or economic downturns, such as the economic downturn we're seeing right now with inflation that we're facing. This lack of preparedness can force a business into making hasty, often costly decisions, such as taking out high interest loans or liquidating assets at unfavorable prices because of the urgency. In summary, failure to monitor cash flow can lead to a vicious cycle of financial difficulties, impacting a business' ability to operate efficiently, grow, and remain solvent. The consistency in this monitoring is essential for ensuring long-term success in the business. What is a cash flow forecast? It can help a business anticipate and avoid shortages and bank overdrafts. And as I mentioned before, a cash flow forecast is an invaluable tool. It enables you to synchronize your inflows and outflows of money to the extent you as the business owner can be proactive and take action when there is a shortage, an anticipated shortage, because now you can foresee when you're going to be falling behind in your payments or below the money threshold that you need to have in the account to cover the expenses. So the benefits of cash flow forecasting is one of them is it can anticipate cash needs. Like I mentioned, you can foresee when the cash is going to go low and there's a payroll payment disbursement coming up, inventory purchases, or loan payments. It helps you identify the cash shortages and surpluses, just as I mentioned. It helps for budgeting purposes because with a cash flow forecast, you can create an accurate budget that aligns with your cash availability. This ensures you're not overspending or overcommitting when there is limited cash on hand. It helps you maintain good relationships with your suppliers and also negotiate favorable terms because you've been paying on time. Now we have a good relationship. They will be more open to negotiation if this is in place. It also leads to improved financial planning. Over time, the ongoing use of cash flow forecasts allows you to refine your financial planning, making it more accurate and reflective of your business financial needs. Some strategies for improving cash flow is cash is used to pay the costs of running the business. Ideally, a business holds enough cash for covering the operational expenses. So we always recommend to put money aside for unforeseeable circumstances and so forth. For instance, set up and maintain multiple bank accounts. Cash reserves, is one of the accounts you can have. You can have 3, 4, 2, or 1, but it's important to set money aside for emergency. An emergency fund cover cash or cash reserve to cover unexpected expenses or lean periods in situations like, for instance, the lockdown during the pandemic. That is a good example of being prepared with enough cash reserves. And in business, the emergency funds can be dedicated to emergencies, such as if you use equipment in your business, let's say you're a factory, a manufacturing company, or you may have a equipment breakdown, which happens. Those breakdowns can happen at any time. Unforeseen repairs, even in the service-based business. What about new computers? And need to be it's a new investment in an office environment, and computers are very expensive along with the accessories that accompany the computers. And the short-term goals, if you're planning to expand your product, opening another location, whether it's a product-based or service-based business, opening another location might require a large investment of money. So these goals can be all covered when there is enough cash reserve, money set aside for the future. More strategies for improving the cash flow. Create a cash budget, realistic revenue projections. The realistic revenue projections first, let me tell you about this. When laying out a budget and you need to, or doing your forecast, when you need to anticipate or estimate the potential revenue you'll be receiving in the upcoming months, weeks, months, or years, or years, be realistic. It's better to fall under the expectations than above, because setting up realistic revenue goals can leave you stranded with your cash, because you're anticipating you will be getting more clients or selling more products than what in reality the market allows. You can find yourself in serious difficulties. So it's better to always underestimate the amount of revenue that you'll be receiving in the future, and you'll be covered that way. And then setting up, of course, the cash budget, as I mentioned, because it will help you timely synchronize the income and outcome, the inflow and the outflow of money. Diversify your client base. Perhaps you want to serve another target market, another group of people based on the demographic of age. Your marketing strategies can help you with that. But the diversification of the client base can attract a different audience, public segment that has more money, that will be more profitable for the business. Manage debt wisely. It is very, very important. If you need to be in debt in your business, if you have to get a loan, make sure that it's used for investments that will generate a positive return. Don't just take a loan out for the sake of getting in debt, for the sake of having cash in your bank account. It is not recommended. The purpose of getting a loan is because the return on the investment, of the use of the money, is going to be far greater than interest you're paying on the loan, and far greater than, which interest is the cost of the money, by the way, and far greater than the time that it's going to take you to pay it off. So just manage debt wisely. Don't take more debt than the necessary. It's something that has to be strategically analyzed and consulted. Don't make that decision alone. Consult with your accountant, financial planner, but make sure that you're being strategic about this decision, because it's very serious. And once you take that loan out and start spending it, that's it, you have to pay it back. Optimized pricing strategy is another solution for improving cash flow. Review your pricing strategy to ensure it reflects the value of your services. Consider incremental price increases to improve cash flow. Also, another model that's becoming very popular is the subscription model. Find out how you can incorporate a subscription model into your business so that you have a continued stream of revenue every month or every quarter. But that revenue is always there. Improve the record keeping. I cannot overemphasize on the importance of maintaining your accounting up to date. I like to call it a squeaky clean accounting. That's what we do with our clients. Those who are interested and invested on their business financial health. We keep the accounting records clean, complete, accurate, and we discuss them with them. It is very important for business owners to understand their numbers. So what happened to Xavier after case study? Let's see, before he was all frantic, you could see the pictures, he was anxious, he was disappointed, and every negative emotion you could think of. Now Xavier seems to be happy, content, satisfied, accomplished. After recognizing the dire financial situation his business was in, he took decisive action to turn things around. With a commitment to address the challenges head on, here's his story: the financial management overhaul. That's how I would call it. Xavier realized that the key to success was sound financial management. He hired a financial consultant slash accountant, because an accountant definitely should be a financial consultant. If it's not, then you have to find somebody else to do that, but you can have the two in one if you search wisely. He hired someone to help him analyze the business financial situation and develop a strategy for improvement. Together, they restructured the budget, identified needs for cost cutting, and established a more efficient invoicing and collections process. Xavier's team stepped up their game when it came to attracting new clients and retaining existing ones. They leveraged their creative skills to revamp their marketing efforts and expand their client base. As a result, the revenue began to grow steadily. Xavier and his employees, because he worked with his team, it's important to make your team aware of your goals as a business owner, so they are in the loop, but they are also a very important key, a very essential key, part of the growth, the healing, financial healing process. Never underestimate the suggestions, ideas, and the help your team can provide to you. Along with the team, they reduced unnecessary costs, renegotiated contracts with suppliers, and streamlined their operations to become more cost-effective. And that helped them improve the profit margins. They set up an emergency fund and debt management system, which allowed them to cover unexpected expenses and avoid borrowing money from friends. He also negotiated with creditors to restructure existing debt, making it more manageable. He also set up a personal compensation plan for himself. Finally, the fruit of his labor is coming into fruition. He's finally able to pay himself a reasonable salary. This was a great relief for him, as he no longer had to deplete his personal savings to cover the business expenses, right? Because this is not an expensive hobby. If you're not generating a profit and you're not paying yourself, you just have an expensive hobby in your hands. Somebody said that, I can remember who, but that's really the exact description of the situation. He improved his cash flow because he ensured that there was always enough money in the business accounts to cover payroll, bills, and other operational expenses. Together with this plan, this system that he designed, or his financial consultant helped him design, he was able now to see the light at the end of the tunnel and then synchronize inflow and outflow in a more strategic way. As a result, the withdrawal fees got reduced and almost eliminated in its entirety, which allows him to use that extra cash for things that were important in the business, to cover more expenses, probably raise his own salary, or someone's a high performer in the business that deserved an increase in his salary, and probably a bonus to all the employees. Debt reduction. He worked diligently to pay down the business debt, making regular payments and avoiding taking on new debt. Over time, this reduced the financial burden of the business, because now he has extra cash. By eliminating the debt or reducing it, now he's paying much less in interest and more on principal. He gets to pay more. He gets to bring the loan down faster. That's a very good thing to do. Now, our cash budget. This cash flow planner is a spreadsheet, simply an Excel spreadsheet that I use personally in my business and even in my personal life. And it enables us to predict potential cash flow shortages and experience peace of mind. It's really a great way of keeping track of the inflow and outflow. This is a sample of the cash flow planner just with information in it. It's an Excel spreadsheet. It's very easy. At the beginning, on the top left corner, on the beginning, $12,500 is the beginning balance of the cash bank account. And this is the actual balance in the bank account. And that will be the beginning balance for January. This is January 2018. Then we list all the revenue from all the income streams of the business, and then we list the expenses underneath. The difference is the cash in hand. And notice that I have a lot of expenses listed. This, you don't have to list all of the expenses because this is not an accounting system. This is just a way of keeping track of the inflow and outflow of money. The main expenses, large expenditures such as rent, payroll, marketing, probably supplies, depending on the type of business, those are the ones, or professional fees also. Those will be the large expenses. And the rest of the categories can be lumped into one single category called other expenses. The net after all the expenses have been subtracted from the income will be the cash on hand. And this cash on hand will, for that particular month of January, will be the beginning balance for the month of February. And remember, this is the actual real life balance of the bank account. This is it's manual. It requires manual labor, but it is very useful if you're disciplined enough to keep track of, to maintain it. You'll be on a better position in foreseeing potential shortages of cash. I use it in my business and I use it for personal purposes too, which allows me to be in control. I determine how I'm spending the money, and I can foresee how much income is coming in. And remember to underestimate the amount of income you'll be receiving. Be conservative. That's the best approach to take. To the end of our presentation today, you too can experience this type of transformation. I can give you the spreadsheet, or you can do it for yourself on your own, or we can help you help you help you develop it and implement it for your business. We can just walk you through this whole process. So let us know, and we'll be very glad to walk you through this financial deliverance process.